Haulage company Eddie Stobart's iconic red and green machines have been delivering the goods for the last 40 years.
No time for slackers in here, it's got to get done quick.
With over 2,000 trucks pounding the tarmac every day, it's big business and big pressure.
And as the truck wheels stop moving, everyone suffers.
For the drivers on the front line, life on the road is as tough as it gets.
This is what we don't want, mate, you know, this is what we don't want.
Oh, bloody hell, shut the road.
This is shocking.
But they wouldn't have it any other way.
This is top notch. I'm king of the road at the moment.
Get in there.
This week, Eddie Stobart Jr. takes his HGV test.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing? Calm down.
And Dad William plays driving instructor.
I don't think my nerves can take any more of this.
Trucker Tim takes a 17-point turn.
I feel like I just played football for an hour.
And Ashley experiences every trucker's worst nightmare.
I'm literally pushing it down the motorway. It's completely devastated me.
Haulage company Eddie Stobart started out as a family-run firm. Today it's a multi-million-pound operation owned by shareholders. But the Stobart family still plays a key role in running the business. William Stobart is co-owner of the company, but he started his career as a driver.
To learn the job, you have to start at the roots, really. And that's the best education you can get. Geographical knowledge, you understand the driver's mentality. I couldn't do my job if I couldn't do that.
William's late brother, Edward, built the trucking business up from their father Eddie's agricultural firm. But now there's a new kid on the block, William's 20-year-old son, another Edward Stobart. And with such a famous name, he's got a lot to live up to.
Whenever I give my name anywhere, like, they always say, like, the trucks. Just, like, your name's everywhere, which is, it was a bit weird, but it's sort of, you get used to it after a while.
Ed's a budding professional rugby player and is part of the trucking firm's polo team. But he's also working part-time for the business. Not in a management position, but as part of the company's landscape gardening team, who tend to all the depots.
You know, he thinks gardening gets his hands mucky, but he'll be on the wash shortly and washing vehicles for a few weeks. So, but you know, the time he comes in the office, he'll understand what housekeeping is.
He may be the youngest member of the Stobart dynasty, but he doesn't get any special treatment.
Yeah, the lads give me a bit of stick, but I give as good as I get.
Hey, bet you're glad it's stopped raining now, Ed, with your hair.
They start taking a piss of it, but I give it back as well. You meant to have silver bits in your hair.
Yeah.
It's a nice grey colour.
It's gardening for now, but William wants Ed to follow in his footsteps, so that means learning to drive a truck.
The next few weeks, we're going to get him on the road, and then he's got to learn that side of it and be a driver.
And today, William is in Carlisle, taking Ed out on his first run.
So we're just going to see how he comes on his first day.
A little bit apprehensive about our first time in a wagon and a bit of pressure from Dad. He thinks he's a good driver, but I'll show him how to drive.
But what Ed's got to live up to, because I passed me tractor test, car test, and HGV Class 1 all first time.
When William passed his test in 1982, you had to be 21 years old to drive a truck. Now you only need to be 18. So 20-year-old Ed has the chance to get one over on his dad.
Yeah, we were competitive. Hopefully I'll pass first time as well.
It's a big moment for Ed, but it's William who's showing his nerves.
Use your seat in the right position and get on that side. Put your seatbelt on.
Especially as Ed doesn't seem to know the basics.
Stop brake. Yeah. Just sit off so you know what you're doing. Don't want to crash the camera, do you? Big 10 to 2 with your hands now. 10 to 2, don't cross your arms. 10 to 2, don't cross your arms. 10 to 2 with your hands. Come on. Wow, hard hitting the brakes.
And when it comes to handling the brakes, William has some useful fatherly advice.
Just feel them gently. It's just like a girl. Just feather it, just nice and gently. You don't got to rough it like a bull in a china shop. Maybe a good idea.
As they approach a tricky roundabout, the barrage of backseat driving leads to confusion at the traffic lights.
It's okay, they're all on green. Keep going.
But the lights start changing to red.
We have to stop there. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What are you doing? Yeah, calm down.
Not a good passenger.
He's a nervous passenger. There's no problem at all, but he was just getting worried.
Panic over, and they're on the move again. And after a quick jaunt on the motorway, William's had enough.
I don't think my nerves can take any more of this.
They head for a driving school near Carlisle Airport, where Ed's about to start an intensive HGV course.
He's all yours, so...
Excellent, fantastic.
I've just been out with him and he's done all right, but I'm a bit nervous, so...
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'll leave him with yourselves.
Truck driving instructor Tom Park will be taking Ed under his wing.
OK, Ed, this is the vehicle that you're going to do your training in.
With 33 years as a trucker, including 9 years driver training, Tom is one of the best in the business. Over the years, his company has been responsible for the training of some 20,000 drivers.
This is probably the most high-profile person I've had the privilege of training.
This intensive 5-day course costs over £1,000 and will qualify Ed for his HGV Class 2 licence, the first stage in becoming a Stobart driver.
Well, there's quite a lot of pressure on Ed here to get the job done in time.
Ed's been thrown in at the deep end, and there's a lot to learn in a very short time.
It's much more different to driving a car, just the size itself, the number of gears we've got.
There are 12 gears on the truck, allowing for more pull when it's fully loaded.
What gear should we use for this junction? Third. That looks to be a good gear. Where the wheel positioning is, the rear wheels, you've got to allow so much more on corners. It's wider.
So giving a wider berth is a must.
Good turn. Well done.
Then there's the mirrors. The driver's blind spot on a truck is much bigger than in a car. So reversing on the driver's blind side is the most difficult manoeuvre of them all.
You're going to have to lean further out.
Right, I'll go back and try.
Go back, no, the whole thing again.
Ed's got to reverse around a set of cones and stay within the yellow chalk.
Just struggling a bit on keeping my tyre off that yellow line, but I'm going to get it this time.
So we've introduced Ed to the reversing. It's probably been the task, I don't know what Ed feels, how he feels, but it perhaps has been the task most difficult so far.
Yeah, so far it's definitely been the most difficult.
With the test looming, he's got his work cut out. We'll see how he gets on later. Coming up.
You don't want red lights. Get in tight, come on.
Trucker Tim has a boat to catch.
If that boat's got to go on a certain tide, he's going to go whether you're there or not.
Haulage firm Eddie Stobart has a fleet of over 4,000 trailers. 3,000 are traditional curtain-siders for general haulage, 350 refrigerated for chilled food, and 100 road trains for carrying tins and cans. But the fanciest of the lot is the biomass trailer, which has an open-top roof and a mechanised walking floor to push out messy loads with ease.
They search the iPhone 4 trailers. It's witchcraft. It's a gadget, it's a trinket, and I like it. It's mine.
And the driver who loves his truck and trailer with a passion is 45-year-old tramper Tim Fox.
I've wanted to be a truck driver from as far back as I can remember. It's all I've ever wanted to do.
Now the father of one has reached the top of his game as a biomass driver.
For me, this is what I wanted when I first started at Stobart. I saw them, thought, I wouldn't mind some of that. It took me 3 years to get it. It's a good job. I like it anyway.
Today, Tim is at Hawley near Gatwick to pick up 24 tonnes of wood chip from a recycling centre. But in order for his trailer to be loaded, he needs to reverse his precious truck down a narrow concrete alley into a loading pit. And evidence shows truckers who've gone before him haven't fared so well.
When you reverse into these pits, when you're at the front and you're backing in, It's like, when you look down a set of railway lines and they look like they're coming together, well, that's what it's like when you're reversing into these, and it's very disorientating. I find it disorientating.
But Tim's 25 years of trucking experience comes into play. Then the digger gets to work, tipping a ton of wood chips at a time through Tim's open roof.
Jobs are good, spot on.
Tim's heading from Hawley, 35 miles south towards Shoreham by Sea near Brighton. A ship is waiting for his load at the docks. Once Tim's tipped, it'll be heading for Sweden to fuel one of its power stations.
You think with Sweden, Scandinavia, I think they've got plenty of trees over there, but they can recycle it. They can leave the trees alone, can't they?
Tim's got half an hour to get to the ship.
The boats are ruled by the tides. And if that boat's got to go on a certain tide, and they need like a high tide, he's going to go whether you're there or not. And then in our case, if it was to go, we'd be sat there with 24.5 tonne of recycled wood chip, trying to find somebody else to buy it.
The pressure's on, but Tim is looking forward to one thing.
Any chance to see the sea, I'm there. If I can go a sea route or an inland route, I'll go the seaway every time. I just love the sea. The air's better near the sea. You can breathe. You get in the centre of big cities, you can't breathe. It's like trying to breathe soup.
But he has to get there first.
Oh, how lucky are we? Police car, you stop the traffic behind me. In the middle of the road with blue lights on.
A police car behind has closed the motorway. Luckily, Tim's truck was the last vehicle through.
So something's in the middle of the road here. A bit of tyre. So he stopped the traffic, so his mate can get out and grab that bit of tyre.
Counting his blessings, he ploughs on.
30 seconds or a minute behind, that could have been the difference between the boat going and missing it, or the boat still being there and getting there on time for it. It's fine lines that make a big difference, and that could have been the fine line.
Tim's still got to get through the busy, touristy town of Brighton, full of tight streets and traffic lights.
We don't want red lights, it's getting tight, come on.
With only minutes left to make his drop, Tim feels Lady Luck's not on his side.
Is somebody switching these lights on by hand? Come on. You can tell I'm starting getting a bit twitchy.
Then Tim's fortunes change. He's within minutes of his final destination, and a view of the English Channel puts Tim in a better mood.
Oh, I can see the sea. Oh, look at that, teeth.
But he needs to make that boat.
And with a bit of luck, the ship will still be there. There's the boat. They've not gone without us, so that's a good sign. Right, we're ready to go now. Turn the floor on. It's like a 45-foot Weetabix. There we go.
It takes 6 minutes to push his 24-ton load out, and it joins the wood chip mountain on the dockside. To load the half-mile ship, 2 Senna Bogan 870 cranes spring into action. These mammoth cranes cost a cool £1 million each. They're capable of lifting 1.5 tons at a time to fill the inside of the ship with 2,000 tons of the recycled wood. A digger on the ship compresses the load to maximise storage space. Once the ship's full, it sets sail for Sweden.
That's it. Job done.
Tim heads off to find a truck park for the night. He needs all the strength he can get because tomorrow's a big day. Find out later how he gets on. For the last 5 days, Ed Stobart has been training to take his HGV Class 2 test. It's only hours away, so he's feeling the pressure.
Very nervous, quite nervous. But hopefully it's a good thing. It'll make me concentrate and hopefully pass.
Before he meets his examiner, Ed's got just enough time to brush up on his nemesis, the blindside reverse, turning a corner on the passenger side.
Go back, do the whole thing again.
He keeps overshooting the yellow lines, a surefire way of failing his test.
Is that close?
Back into it.
I was just not concentrating there. Do one more.
Even after 3 attempts, he still can't get it right, and his time is up.
Just feeling a bit nervous. Just can't wait to get it over and done with.
But the thought of getting one over on Dad is spurring him on.
If I don't pass, he'll give me a bit of stick and I won't hear the end of it.
But it isn't only the Stobart family honour at stake.
Well, as with anyone you train, it's a team effort. In the unlikely event of anyone failing, then the instructor, I feel, has failed as well.
As Ed embarks on one of the toughest hours of his life, his elder sister, 24-year-old April Stobart, arrives at the Carlisle depot.
I'm here today to support my brother in his for his wagon test, see if he passes or not.
April is also cutting her teeth in the family business. She is an accounts administrator in the office.
I enjoy it, it's good. It's not directly involved with wagons as such. I don't think I would be very good if I was like planning trucks or anything, so.
The moment has arrived, and Ed goes off with the examiner for his hour-long test on the roads of Carlisle. Legally, we had to keep our distance. April anxiously waits at the depot for him to return. But instructor Tom is feeling it the most.
Very nervous. And the candidates are out on the test, extremely nervous. Very anxious, waiting for them to come back.
After an hour's excruciating wait, Ed's truck comes back into sight. It's the moment of truth.
Well done.
But how did he handle his blindside reverse?
Well, the reverse was... I got it right, but only just.
It's now time to deliver the news to Dad. He's more than 200 miles away at Stobart's Crick depot, and even though he's been stuck in meetings all day, there's only really been one thing on his mind.
Actually, I'm just waiting for a call to see if he's passed or failed. I keep telling him that I actually passed my HGV Class 1 first time a week after my birthday. So let's just hope he's done the same, to keep up with me, but let's see. Oh, he's ringing now. Ed, hello?
And Ed can't help but use the opportunity to wind his old man up.
I failed.
Failed.
I knocked a granny over.
You what?
I knocked a granny over.
What, you hit somebody?
No, I didn't. I've passed.
You passed?
Yeah.
Well, get on. Well done. You've got one more to go to get HGV 1, Class 1 Arctic.
Yeah.
Well done, good lad. Back of the net with that one.
Yeah.
Well done, cheers.
Right.
Bye. I'd put a lot of pressure on him, and everybody expects him to pass, so no, he's done really well.
Another generation of Stobart gets behind the wheel of a truck. Biomass driver Tim Fox is back on the road after delivering a load of wood chip to a ship bound for Sweden. He's now heading for a field in North Wales that's been cleared of diseased trees. But Tim has been forewarned by his planners that there could be a problem once he gets there.
It's a challenge. It could be a little bit on the tight side. If we're struggling, they might have to just pull some, I think it's some fence post or a bit of hedgerow, just cut that back a bit to get in. So this field now is just down here.
The small country lanes are not a good sign.
This road, it's not the widest of roads, and I've got to try and reverse off this road into the field. And the problems you have there is because it's so narrow, is getting enough angle without putting the wheels of the unit on the grass verge on that side, because there's a bit of a ditch on that side.
Tim has to line the truck up and reverse it through the farmer's gate using a series of turns.
And what you're going to try and do is get the pivot point so you can, basically that gate post, that's your trailer. You've got to get it to a certain point where you can push the front of the trailer around and pivot around the gate post without hitting it. Just getting that pivot point.
After 17 turns of the wheel, Tim's 54-foot truck and trailer are in danger of going into the ditch. In the meantime, traffic is building up on both sides of the road.
People in the cars, they don't know how much room I need. They're not trained to drive a truck. And sometimes they get frustrated because you're taking so long and you're taking all the road up and, well, you know, it's not their fault. The front of the trailer's sticking out now and brushing into the hedgerow.
The wood recycling company assured Stobart there would be enough room for the truck to get in.
I'd like to meet the man that assessed this and said it'd fit.
But Tim is having to pull forward and start again.
I'm sweating like a glass blower's arse. If you're blowing all that glass, your arse is going to sweat, innit? I'm sweating like one.
Second time lucky, he's approaching the turn at a better angle, but is still just inches from the gatepost.
It is a tight one, this.
After another 17-point turn, he's almost there.
Yeah, we're in.
And he's through.
Let the traffic go, take a shunt, leave it over, we're in. I feel like I've just played football for an hour.
But the worst isn't over.
That's the easy bit, we've got to get out yet, with all the weight on. There'll be 27 tonne on its back coming out.
A heavy trailer means less control of the vehicle.
I'll be happy when I'm out and pointing that way. With a load of wood chip on my back.
The field contains trees that have been felled. To get them into Tim's trailer, they need to be fed through a fierce piece of machinery called the mobile chipper.
Whenever he's ready, they can shove the trees in one end and get the chip out the other. Start filling.
The chipper works by devouring whole trees. After being chopped into bite-sized pieces, they're collected by a claw arm. With the use of 500 metal teeth, the trees are dragged into an industrial grinder and pulverised into wood chip. They're fired out of a 15-foot-long chute into Tim's roof-loaded trailer at a rate of a ton of wood chip in less than 2 minutes. It's a dangerous bit of kit, but it certainly gets Tim going.
People say, what do you like about this job? You know, the walking floors, why do you like it? You know, I like things, engineering and machines and stuff. You don't get to see this. None of the other lads. You tell people what this machine does, and they're like, oh, right, you know, it doesn't twig. And when you see it in action like that, you think, bloody hell.
Once the trailer's filled with 27 tons of wood chip, Tim needs to get on his way.
Getting out now, the problems you got here.
With a heavy load, it's going to be twice as hard getting out because the trailer's less manoeuvrable.
I've got to watch that gate post. In the ditch with the stanky-looking water in it. We don't want to fall in there. Got the post there that I don't want to hit with the front. It is a nightmare. Hey, it's actually come out not too bad, that.
With a bit of patience, Tim's back on the road.
The main thing is we got in, we got chipped up, and we got out, and we didn't hit out. No damage.
He's heading from the field in Buckley, North Wales, 23 miles northeast, to a Stobart biomass port in Runcorn, Cheshire. Stobart's port on the River Mersey deals with recyclable material. In order to get the wood chip off, Tim puts the walking floor trailer into action.
Once it's tipped enough out and it can't push the load further back, it'll set the path of least resistance and it push the truck that way with a handbrake on.
So to save wear and tear on his tyres, he needs to hop into the driving seat and slowly creep the truck forward. Once he's dumped his load, Tim has some housekeeping to do. Clean his trailer.
There you go. Oh yes, Mrs. Mop. Thing is, if you go out of it and you're dropping wood chip all over the road, the residents would soon get fed up. Quick sweep out, and then it's ready for the next one, whatever it's going to be.
Tim's job is done, and he heads back home to Bury. Coming up, By royal appointment, the polo truckers take on a horse box fit for a king.
If something went wrong, I think I'll straight down to the job centre tomorrow morning.
And Ashley gets himself lost in Birmingham's city centre.
You're looking at traffic lights, pedestrians, cars, signs, and you blink and you can miss your turning.
Just like their trucks, Stobart depots are always well turned out. Immaculate lawns and uniform planting. The Appleton depot near Warrington is the best looking of the lot because that's where William Stobart is based, and he's a real stickler for detail.
I always think you go into somebody's premises and you arrive and it looks good, that's a good impression of how the company's operated.
William's son Ed is part of the landscaping team, and now he's passed his HGV Class 2 test. He's able to drive the groundsman's wagon.
Go left, Ed, yeah.
He's heading to a garden centre with his boss, 37-year-old Jason Jones, to collect a load of bedding plants.
This is basically his maiden voyage in his truck today, so I trust him. Hey, we forgot to put your L plates on. Stay over.
And he's even managed to master reversing.
Yeah, I'll do your head. Passed his test on Friday. He's safe now, it's stopped.
Loaded up with their plant supplies for the Appleton depot, the lads head back. And it's not long before William arrives, and he can't help but inspect their handiwork.
How you doing?
Afternoon, William.
Jason, all right? How you doing? All right? Doing good, Ed?
If anyone knows how particular William is, it's Ed. He doesn't just work for his dad, he lives with him.
My dad's like really into his detail, like business, even at home, like all the cans have to be in one place, like all lined up, and if I leave anything out in the house, I get a so it's the same when he comes to work. So if we do a bad job, he'll tell us.
William likes everything just right, so we've got to come in and put stripes in the lawn and put shrubs in. If anything looks untidy, he's got a keen eye and he'll notice it, so hopefully we get there before him.
Nice, looks good.
Cheers.
You're looking smart.
Thank you.
And Jason is the man when it comes to having the perfect lawn.
During the spring, we'll cut Appleton twice a week, so just so it's always got stripes in it and always looks nice.
And the work never stops for the landscapers. They're involved in a constant battle against the very thing that Stobart is renowned for, truckers.
Yeah, they're the people who do the damage. Most gardeners have problems with moles and garden pests, as the truck drivers. They clip the corner. It's mainly at night, to be honest. And you just clip the corner, it just tears up the lawn, really. And we have to keep repairing it, because William likes it looking good. And it's just a never-ending battle, really. But it's like Groundhog Day. I suppose it keeps us in work, doesn't it? We'll finish this side off, Ed, and then we'll go over that side and plan that side up.
Sound a bit out of breath, Jay.
I'm out of breath and rushing.
In your old age.
It's not old age, it's called working hard.
With the Appleton depot's front of house spring cleaned and ready to bloom, the landscaping team can pack up and call it a day. As well as being part of Stobart's gardening team, Ed Stobart also plays for its sponsored polo team. In a few days, he'll be flying out to Spain for some pre-season games. But first, the horses will be going overland in one of the biggest horse boxes in the world. But there's no Stobart logo. It's been hired out to the Prince of Brunei, so carries his royal livery. And when it reaches Spain, it'll be his for the summer. One of the drivers that will be taking charge of this 14-wheel monster is 24-year-old Jack McDermott.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful and make sure everything goes okay. So if something went wrong, I think I'll straight down to the job centre tomorrow morning.
Today, Jack and co-driver Chris Crane are at the Stobart stables in Cheshire to get the horses on board. Nico San Romain is the Argentinian captain of the polo team, and he, along with 4 horse grooms, will be following the horse box down to Spain.
It's a good opportunity for our horses and the players to start to get fit for the season.
17 horses worth over £250,000 are going to be making the trip. It's all being paid for by the Prince of Brunei, whose family fortune is estimated at $20 billion.
He's got that much money, he says, right, I'll pay you to come down and play against me. He's getting bored.
The trailer's one of a kind. A custom-built, modified, articulated horse box worth 70 grand. It can carry up to 18 horses in a climate-controlled environment. Because it's such a long unit, there are CCTV cameras both at the front and at the rear to keep an eye on the precious cargo. Outside, there are 8 huge storage compartments to carry everything, from the rider's personal belongings to the horse's saddles and the all-important polo mallets. The trailer has air suspension to absorb the shock on the horse's legs, and it allows the whole unit to be lowered for the horses to be easily loaded into the back via an electronic ramp.
All 17 horses are loaded, so we are ready to go.
Today they're travelling 270 miles from Knutsford in Cheshire to Dover, where they'll spend the night at a horse hotel. Yes, a hotel for horses. All will be explained later. The 2 drivers take it in turns behind the wheel. Jack is up first.
Yeah, it's a lot different to having 24 pallets of product on.
But with experienced polo driver Chris next to him, he's in good hands.
I see more of Chris than I do see my fiancée Vicky. When he gets tired, he gets grumpy, so you've got to be careful.
Don't get grumpy, just get on your nerves.
Like a married couple, some people say, don't they?
I'm Daddy.
3 hours into their journey, the horses seem relaxed with Jack's driving, as does Chris.
It's a great help, Chris. He's a hard worker.
Nico in the car behind is concerned about his horses, so gives Chris a rude awakening.
Hello, Nico.
He wants an update on the CCTV images.
One is dead, I think, but the rest are okay.
But he may have tempted fate. Chris notices he can't see one of the horses.
Oh, no, you can't quite see its head. You can't actually see the one at the very back.
It's vital the horses can be seen at all times. So they decide to pull over.
For the sake of stopping for 2 minutes, it's worth it just to check there's no problems.
They have to be quick, in case they unsettle all the horses. When they open up, the horse they were concerned about, the one at the back nearest the door, appears to be alive and well.
Yeah, they're all fine, yeah. I think it's just the camera angle and the sun. It's just hard to see, but better safe than sorry. They're all standing up, they're all okay.
Chris takes the wheel for the rest of the journey. After 7 hours on the road, the lads are now minutes away from their destination, a bed and breakfast in Dover.
2 miles. They're doing all right.
Not for the drivers, but for the horses.
Horses will be in the horse hotel for the night, and then we'll lock the truck up and make our way down to the hotel. Ready for an early start in the morning.
The horses will get a good night's sleep in 5-star luxury.
Job done for the day.
We call it bed and breakfast for horses, and then we do like full half board and full board, depending on how long they want to stay. So we provide, obviously, clean stables, haylage for the horses. If they need food, we've got food for the horses.
Before it's lights out, Jack's got enough time to say goodnight.
I'm the secret horse whisperer. But I don't do a lot of whispering. Neither do they.
The next morning, and it's an early start.
5 o'clock in the morning, just waiting for the grooms to arrive. Had a good night's sleep and I hope the horses are okay. We love living the dream. We got off at 4:30 this morning and now down stuck in the stables and it's -3. It's brilliant.
The horses are led out and loaded up by Nico and the grooms. And Jack and the team are on their way to catch a 6:40 ferry to France.
We've got our next stop after the ferry is Bordeaux.
48 hours later, they safely reach their final destination in southern Spain. Stobart's Midlands depot at Crick is one junction down from where the M1 meets the M6, so it's perfectly placed to get goods on the road. But there's also an international rail freight terminal next door that has 20 trains coming in a day. And one of the daily trains comes all the way from France, carrying around 53 tonnes of water.
I like bottled water. I mean, I don't touch pop and stuff like that, but I'm either juice or water.
And the driver tasked with collecting the liquid load today is 43-year-old Ashley Maddox.
I think other people would probably describe me as sort of loyal and green through and through. And they probably look at me and think, yeah, he does try his best every time.
Ashley is from Newport in Wales, but as a tramper, he could end up anywhere.
I absolutely love being out on the road and I enjoy the freedom. I don't think I'd ever be cooped up inside.
Ashley's waiting for 16 pallets of bottled water. After a 750-mile rail journey from France, they're unloaded by forklift onto a trailer. A shunting truck then pulls it 300 yards to a Stobart warehouse, where they're stored before being distributed around the country. Ashley's truck is nearly loaded.
I've never done the drop before, so I'm going to be keeping my eyes open for when we get down there.
Ashley's travelling 40 miles to Birmingham city centre to make the delivery.
I don't know where the drop is, so I've looked it up on the map and I've punched it into my sat-nav. I don't trust sat-navs 100%, so I think they're designed for cars. I mean, if that tried to send me somewhere that I don't look the like of, I'm just not going to drive down there.
He heads up the M6.
So we're following Birmingham Central.
But as he comes off the motorway, he has to contend with Birmingham's maze of flyovers.
That's one of my downfalls, a city centre.
Taking on this urban jungle doesn't come naturally to the boy from the valleys.
In the city centre, you're looking at traffic lights, pedestrians, cars, signs, and you blink and you can miss your turning.
And it's not long before his prediction comes true.
Taking the wrong turning. Try and turn around here somehow. Trouble is with one of these, with an Arctic, if you miss your turning, you can't just turn it around and think, oh, I'll turn it around by here. It's not that easy. I've seen the sign Aston, so off I've come thinking, oh, I might get back onto the A38, but you can't off this roundabout, so oops.
Every driver is given a delivery time slot. If they miss it, the load could be rejected, which means Stobart loses money. Ashley's now heading the wrong way, back to the M6.
Like I said, I checked my map out before we left, but maps and streets, they never look the same, do they? I know in my luck, somebody's probably built a new roundabout down there as well.
After a 10-minute detour and much confusion, he manages to head in the right direction.
Back on track now, yeah.
He's now only minutes from his drop location.
Technically, it should be second left.
But this is new territory for Ashley. It's actually first left, and he overshoots.
Oops.
Now it's just a case of backing up, turning down the right street, and into the yard.
There we go, we're there.
Ashley's pallets of bottled water are unloaded, but his trailer isn't quite empty.
Better new cargo. My wife will kill me if she finds out I've had a bird in the back of the truck.
With the water and the pigeons successfully off, Ashley heads to his next job. Coming up,
you can see that there's a car wedged across the front of the vehicle.
Ashley is involved in an accident.
Something that's completely sort of shaken me up.
Haulage company Eddie Stobart has up to 1,800 trucks on the road at any one time, so accidents are an occupational hazard. With the lorries covering around 220 million miles a year, they have around 15,000 incidents, ranging from minor prangs to more serious smashes.
I've had the worst thing that you can possibly imagine happen. I've had a road traffic accident, actually on the M1. I got to be honest, it's something that's completely sort of shaken me up, and somebody could have been injured, or if not worse.
Ashley recorded the aftermath on his mobile phone.
Going through the pictures now, you know, after the event, you can see that there's a car literally sort of round about this height here, wedged across the front of the vehicle.
After trying to change lanes on the M1, he felt a bump. He came to a halt in the middle of the motorway when he found a car was attached to his bumper.
The car's side on, and I'm literally pushing it down the motorway. It's just we all react in different ways, and to be honest with you, it's completely devastated me.
The car driver was uninjured, and after swapping insurance details, drove away from the scene. When truckers have an accident, it's the job of the operations supervisor to deal with the paperwork. Damon Goulding is based at Crick, so he'll be handling Ashley's case today.
If it's an incident that's caused by our drivers, then obviously we need to take appropriate action, depending on causes and error.
You can see the black tyre right on the...
Yeah, I've seen, I'm taking pictures of your truck when it's out there.
Yeah.
So Ashley gives Damon a brief lowdown and explains the damage to the vehicle. Once he's done that, he drives it round to the depot's body repair shop.
Another customer for you. Might need a bit of paint as well.
Then Damon sits down with Ashley to get a detailed statement.
At no point did I ever see her, in that blind spot.
Just take a seat, mate. Just got to do some paperwork.
Yeah.
Checked all around in mirrors? Or
mirrors, yeah, everything, yeah. The vehicle then seemed to come under what felt like a dragging motion, and then what seemed like a couple of seconds then, I actually sort of looked in front of us and seen the roof of the car.
You know, we still need to get the details down from our point of view. We can't really put words in their mouth. They need to tell us in their own words that, you know, what's happened.
I tell you what, it goes through your mind, you think, that's it, I'm going to give up driving. Then you go through the stage and you're thinking, was it my fault? Then you go through the stage thinking, I'm going to get the sack. And it's not a nice thing.
After the statement's taken, Damon checks Ashley's fit to drive.
I just feel vulnerable, that's all, if anything. If I can explain to you, if I go out on the motorway...
Yeah, we're not going to allow you to drive for a while anyway.
Yeah.
We just try and calm down as best as they can, but you know, if they say to us that they can't drive, then we won't let them on the road. There are instances before where drivers, they've been scared to drive later on. You know, that's 2 or 3 days down the road.
I think my confidence and my awareness is shot to pieces now. It has knocked me, so I just park up now and put my feet up and relax and put myself right ready for tomorrow now. Won't easily be beaten. Back to loving the job, and away we go again.
After a couple of hours respite, Ashley was back in the driving seat and made his drop to London. It was unclear who was at fault with the accident, so Stobart footed the bill. Next time on Eddie Stobart Trucks and Trailers, Stobart's airline business takes off.
We're just checking in the last 3 passengers for our first flight.
But will they be grounded?
It's all right, guys.
It's not a shame.
And one driver heads to the Scottish forests in Stobart's very own log wagon.
It's just a wee bit on the rough side. It sways too much, you just fall over.
And Eddie's 8 o'clock Heroes return for that final episode of Trucks and Trailers tomorrow night. Right, see this guy here coming out the shrubs? He's a dude. He has cojones grandes, but he might